Mrs. Rabaji tells the court that I was caught red-handed in the final stages of the process of manufacturing methamphetamine. This was not a casual remark that she made. This was a written statement that she signed under oath, and she then submitted it to the Supreme Court of Appeal. These photographs were taken by the drug police during the illegal search of 54 Balfour Street, and they were submitted to the same civil courts. We are going to examine key photographs, and you can decide if they confirm or if they contradict what this woman has said. This photograph here is marked photograph photo 4, and it shows the entrance to the mini laboratory. Photograph number 5 is a photograph of what was found on the table in the mini laboratory on the left hand side of the table. It is a marked exhibit number 12, and it is a blue plastic bucket. On the side of the bucket there's an electric plug with a cord that leads into the bucket. When we turn the page around over, we get photo number 6, which is again exhibit number 12 of the drug police, and we have a close-up photograph of what is inside the bucket. It is a fish tank pump with a plastic pipe attached to it. Below that is photograph number 7. It's marked exhibit number 13 in the photograph, and we have a glass flask which is standing on a stand, and there is nothing inside the flask. Photograph number 8, which is marked as exhibit number 14, is a bottle with a marking of benzene on it, a chemical bottle. I suppose there's benzene in it, it's logical. Behind that there is a photograph of a hot plate, and the switch is in the off position. Photograph number 9 is marked as exhibit number 15, and it shows some plastic pipes, a stand for flasks on the floor with some aluminium foil. You don't need to be a chemical engineer to be able to conclude that this woman has lied. There are only 2 chemicals in this mini laboratory as the police found it. If I had taken these photographs and submitted these photographs, then you would be able to argue that that was my interpretation. This is what the police found when they broke into my house. This is what they found in the mini laboratory, and this woman is saying that what you see here is the final process of manufacturing methamphetamine. To forfeit 54 Balfour Street, such lies as this were presented again and again by the state. Such lies would never survive a criminal court hearing. Yet these lies were embraced with open arms by the civil court judges. According to the Constitution, this is the supreme law of the land. And according to this law, everyone has the right to be tried in a language that they can understand. So then why did the civil court judges, all the way up to the Constitutional Court, accept these photographs into the courtroom with captions that are written in Afrikaans, which is a language that is foreign to me? And they were aware of that. Why did the courts allow the presentation of complicated chemical formula all in Afrikaans when I'm English speaking? Furthermore, why did the civil courts allow the presentation of information? All of this information was obtained through the criminal conduct of the drug police. Under the Prevention of Organised Crime Act, the civil courts have tolerated multiple supreme law violations, including civil rights violations that are defined by the South African Constitution as being non-derogable laws. and the civil courts have tolerated lies about me of monumental proportions because the Prevention of Organised Crime Act is deliberately designed to sidestep due process and fair trial. And I say that it is therefore an unlawful act because it is inconsistent with the Constitution. The forfeiture of 54 Balfour Street has been a travesty of justice in South Africa. Through the action of the civil courts, my family were cast into the street with nowhere to go, and they've been subjected to abject poverty. And I say that this is as disgraceful as the worst things that happened during apartheid. On the 21st of August 2009, which was last month, I was attacked by two men who tried to murder me. I am the single most dangerous threat to the survival of the Prevention of Organised Crime Act. And it is my suspicion that someone, either in the Asset and Forfeiture Unit or someone in the South African Justice Department, paid these people to try to kill me. What you see here are the scars. This is 2 weeks old. This was a bullet that was fired at me. It missed me, but it caught my skin, and I'll pick the scabs off. But that is the first injury. This is the second injury. This is where the bullet went into my shoulder. It penetrated my shoulder. It came out underneath my shoulder. You can see the where the bullet comes out there. The bullet then went back into my skin of my arm, and it exited again at that point. And this that you can see here is the graze of the bullet as it left my arm. A third injury is on my right arm, where I was shot here. This here is the entry point of the bullet, and to the side of that, below that, a bit difficult to get this off here. Okay, there we go. There you can see the exit wound of the bullet. There is the entry of the bullet is here, and the exit of the bullet is here. These might not look much to you. They just look like little holes in a person's skin, but let me tell you, there's certainly a lot of pain that comes with it. Now, I've been led to believe that the weapons that were used against me were South African military special force issue, and robbery as a motive has been ruled out, and it is highly improbable that common criminals would just happen to both have such weapons and at the same time the identical weapons in their possession. One of the attackers died in the confrontation, and I think that I wounded the second attacker because the following day I found a blood trail leading away from the scene of a crime. If you are one of those who paid to see me dead, then let me tell you that even in the face of death, I will not back down. I have read the supreme law of South Africa, and I can tell you with certainty that the forfeiture of 54 Balfour Street is unconstitutional and is nothing more than legalized theft by government. You are wrong, and you are doing the work of the devil, and you are already defeated.